With a history spanning over a century, Rolex has consistently upheld its reputation for producing timepieces that embody both timeless elegance and cutting-edge technology. And one intriguing phenomenon has captured the attention of enthusiasts and investors alike. Folks, that is the fact that most used Rolex models often command higher prices than their brand new counterparts. This phenomenon raises an interesting question. Why are these used Rolex models worth more than new ones? Let's find out then, shall we? Let's give you a bit of an in-depth market analysis because it's been a minute. We all know that Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe and Rolex have dominated the secondary market for premium wristwatches made in Switzerland in recent years. In particular, the supply of new watches has yet to meet the demand for specific models, such as the Royal Oak from Audemars Piguet, the Aquanaut from Patek Philippe, and the Daytona from Rolex. Founder and CEO of Watch Charts, Charles Tian, told Insider that resale prices for several prominent models have been considerably above their retail cost since at least 2017. The big three brands have been desirable for a long time, he said. The appreciation was at first quite gradual, then skyrocketed in 2021 and the beginning of 2022 due to low interest rates and rampant speculation, he continued. Even if the watch resale market is cooling off, a new analysis from Morgan Stanley, utilizing data from Watch Charts, shows that the top three watch brands continue to fetch a premium on the secondary market compared to retail. In a nutshell, these three brands, and more narrowly the top models produced by these companies, are so difficult to find in stores that the only way to buy the watch you want is to go to the pre-owned market and pay a premium. The investigation found that used versions of 89 of Rolex's 123 currently available models are worth more than brand new ones. The report covers all the current models produced and sold through official retailers, including every possible variation from steel to gold across all collections. Since Rolex's famous Daytona and Sky Dweller collections were updated this year, they were not included in this analysis. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36 with a turquoise dial is the most valuable model by a wide margin. It retails for $6,100 for the new model, but can be purchased on the secondary market for over double that amount. And folks, this is just one of many. Used Rolex watches sell for 24% above retail, less than the markup of used Patek Philippe watches, but higher than that of used Audemars Piguet timepieces. However, Rolex has a more significant percentage of its pre-owned watches selling for more than its new ones. While neither of the two brands come close, half of the new Patek Philippe watches and around 70% of all new Audemars Piguet watches retain more value upon resale. So, it's safe to say that Rolex is the only company whose products are highly sought after throughout a wide range of product categories. As with the vast majority of consumer goods, premium or not, nearly every model from the other major Swiss companies loses at least some value once sold at retail. Even though the value of the most popular models has dropped dramatically on the secondary market, these figures suggest that demand is still significantly higher than supply. And that leads us to the question, why? Why Rolex? Why vintage models, to be specific? First up, we have the undeniable heritage and legacy of Rolex. Established in 1905, Rolex has built a reputation for crafting watches of impeccable quality and precision. Collectors are drawn to the historical significance of these timepieces, and that sentiment alone can drive up their value. Then we have exclusivity. In case you didn't know, the high cost of old Rolex watches is primarily due to the brand's exclusivity. Collectors seek after the highly limited edition timepieces Rolex releases. Unique materials and designs help set these watches apart from the standard Rolex lineup. There's no denying the temptation of showing off your own Rolex. It's a mark of distinction and luxury few can afford to flaunt. Prices for specific pre-owned Rolex models can be much more than those of other models due to their rarity. Rolex limited edition watches are highly sought after because of their limited availability. Due to high demand and limited supply, the cost of these timepieces continues to rise. Collectors will pay a premium for these timepieces because of their one-of-a-kind design and construction. It's worth noting that Rolex isn't the only brand that produces limited editions of its products. Due to their unique design and limited availability, several antique Rolex models are valuable. These timepieces are likely rare because of their their low production numbers or because they were taken off the market. And of course, there is also design evolution and rarity to consider. Rolex watches are known for their distinctive design language that has evolved while retaining a core aesthetic. Vintage Rolex models often showcase unique design elements such as different dial configurations, bezel styles, and case sizes that distinguish them from their modern counterparts. These design variations contribute to the rarity of specific models, making them highly sought after by collectors aiming to own a piece of Rolex history. And what's a vintage model without a good age and condition? So you're eyeing a pre-owned Rolex? Smart move. Let's break down the matters when snagging that perfect timepiece. Age and distinction are like the dynamic duo in this watch buying adventure. Imagine this. You find a used Rolex that's a real head-turner. But hold up, before you're ready to whip out your wallet, there are two crucial factors you need to size up: age and condition. These two amigos are critical to whether you're making a wise investment or splurging. We know Rolex watches are built to endure, but they're not magic. They need some TLC to keep that wow factor. Think regular spa days, cleaning, oiling, and general pampering from a watch whisperer. A Rolex that has been well taken care of lives longer and holds its value better. On the flip side, a watch that's been sitting in a corner gathering dust, not so much. Then there is the secret sauce behind used Rolex value: scarcity. Let's be honest about the scarcity of Rolex watches, making them more desirable than the last pizza on a Friday night. To own a Rolex is to experience the excitement of being the proud owner of something unique and special. That is the secret behind the increased price of pre-owned Rolex watches. Let's pretend Rolex isn't making timepieces on an assembly line scale. They're more like a master chef creating an exquisite dish. Only a few number of Rolex timepieces are made each year. The scarcity of these clocks makes each one a valuable collectible. Moreover, do you know what happens to a rarity? The cost becomes increasingly eye-catching. Not only that though, like fleeting shooting stars, specific Rolex models are precious because they are rare. Consider the Daytona from Rolex as an example. This timepiece lasted only a short time, and what do you know? Due to its limited availability, this Rolex was among the most expensive of its kind. Fascinating, right? But that's not all. Cultural significance and pop culture are another crucial factors to consider. Rolex watches have adorned the wrists of influential personalities and made their mark in pop culture. From movies to television shows, these timepieces have found their way into the cultural zeitgeist. Vintage Rolex models worn by iconic figures gain additional value due to their association with the cultural movements of their eras. So folks, we've established that the allure of vintage Rolex watches is a complex interplay of heritage, limited supply, design evolution, craftsmanship, and cultural significance. These factors combine to create a perfect storm of demand, driving up the value of most used Rolex watches above their original retail prices. However, as time passes and the supply of well-preserved vintage Rolex watches continues to dwindle, their worth will likely escalate further.